What's up, people? Larry from the Gym Rat Pack here with on my lonesome, as you can see, with a review of M3GAN. So I've seen it quite a while ago. Just seen it again today, just to refresh my memory for the review. The boys, I was hoping to review it with the boys, but none of them have seen it yet. So I figured might as well just do it by myself, right? So yeah, this will be a quick review. It's a kind of spoiler review, but if you haven't seen it by now, you're not going to watch it. It's almost ended its run in the cinema, so you know. But it's I mean, it's done fantastically at the box office. Yeah, we've done a previous video on that, so please check that out. But without further ado, this is the review. So basically, the story is about a little girl and her parents who were driving in the snow at the beginning of the film, and they have an accident. The girl's parents are killed, but she's just injured, and so she goes to live with her aunt, who is a designer of toys for a toy manufacturer called Funky, I think. And she makes a lot of electronic based toys. So but she's got no kids. She's not really used to looking after kids. So when the niece comes to her house, she's not really equipped. She's got no toys. There was a scene where she's got collectible toys and the kid wants to go and play with them. She's like, no, they're collectibles. So it's a little bit awkward, and she's obviously got to work. She's taking enough days off. She's afraid that she's going to end up getting fired or sued or whatever. So she is in the middle of testing this toy that is going to revolutionize the toy industry, and it's basically an android, a robot. But the testing didn't go too well, and the CEO of the company was there when the testing happened. He kind of crashed the party, and he was like, no, forget this, let's just stick to what we agreed on, blah 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 blah. But obviously she's gone away and she's worked on things with the for this toy, and eventually she's come up with M3GAN. And she then pairs it with her niece to then try it out. And the CEO sees this, and he's then convinced that this is the next best thing. This is like the best thing since sliced bread, and we need to get it out ASAP. So he then tells her, look, keep it under wraps. We're going to launch this as soon as possible. Just need to speak to the board and blah, 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 so they can authorize money and whatnot. So everyone's all, jiggy and excited about about the launch and stuff. And but she's an AI, this robot, so she is constantly learning and picking up things, and she is looking at human behavior. She can go on the web herself to look up things, and there's little cues at that point which make you realize that, because she doesn't turn off when they turn her off. Like, so she's starting to become self-aware kind of thing, a la Terminator. And then, so obviously the niece who's in the accident, she's doing really well with M3GAN. She's talking to M3GAN, but at the expense of not talking to her aunt, which is kind of why the aunt made M3GAN in the first place. So there's an incident. Well, she wants the niece to go to school. The niece doesn't want to go to school without M3GAN. So she lets her go to the school with M3GAN. They're doing an outside, I don't know, project or whatever. And they're in the woods. And they pair the niece with a wayward boy. And they go into the woods, and he starts bullying her. Then M3GAN shows up, and he takes M3GAN and he starts, chucking her on the floor and whatnot. And then M3GAN grabs his ears, pulls his ears off, and then runs after him in kind of like feral way, and then he falls into the road and gets knocked over by a car and killed. So they all see it as an accident. It was an accident. And the little girl covered up for M3GAN a little bit as well. So then there was the incident with the next door neighbor. So the aunt's next door neighbor is has a dog. She's very annoying, and the dog is very annoying. And there was an incident where the dog attacked the little girl because M3GAN went into the hole in the fence to get to the other yard where the dog is to get an arrow for M3GAN that she lost, and the dog grabbed the doll and then grabbed M3GAN when grabbed M3GAN and then grabbed the niece when and bit the niece when she tried to save M3GAN. So the police came, but nothing happened. So obviously M3GAN's seen this and she's going to exact her revenge. So in the night, she puts out a treat for the dog. And obviously, you know what happens, kills the dog. Then she also, dog's owner, the lady living across, next to her, the aunt, she starts freaking out, calls the police that they've done something to her dog. So M3GAN then fixes her real good. So she kills her. And then they then go to the launch. But by that point, the aunt is starting to realize that something's awry and something's not quite right, and that she might have killed a couple people. And because she questions M3GAN, and M3GAN's response wasn't what she thought it would be if obviously she didn't do anything. So the aunt is then arguing with her co-workers about whether they should continue with the launch or not. And in the meantime, she bundles up M3GAN to say that they need to do more testing with them. And the niece freaks out. She's not happy. You know, she wants to see M3GAN. And while they're trying to do the tests, M3GAN realizes what's going to happen to her, that they're probably going to decommission her. So she escapes the building where the launch was going to take place as the aunt and the niece are driving back home because she's abandoned the launch, the aunt. And she kills the CEO and his assistant, and they discover the bodies, and that allows her to get out into the car to drive to the aunt's house where the niece is as well. So she gets there and mayhem ensues. She's trying to kill the aunt. The niece sees her. She's trying to console the niece and saying, oh, well, you know, we have to get rid of her. And they all start fighting. And then the aunt has a old robot that she made when she was in university, I think. And she showed the niece how to work it. So as M3GAN is tearing up the aunt and like choking the aunt, the niece then takes the gloves needed to control the robot, Bruce they called it, very crude robot but big, and the robot ends up ripping M3GAN apart. So they think M3GAN's dead, but M3GAN's not. Destroyed, should I say, not dead. So yeah, M3GAN then comes back and tries to kill the niece, and the aunt takes the silicone mask off M3GAN, and you can just see the robot shell, and also you can see the CPU unit where basically her brain is. So the niece knew that. And as she's still choking at the aunt, the niece grabs a screwdriver and sticks it through the CPU unit, effectively destroying M3GAN. So yeah, that was that. It wasn't an earth-shattering film. It doesn't reinvent, you know, the horror or, I don't know, thriller genre. But it was a nice watch. It was a nice watch. I forget her name, but the lady that was in Get Out, who played Daniel Kaluuya's supposed girlfriend, Alison something, I forgot her name, but she is the aunt. She plays a blinder. She's really good in that. I really like her as an actress anyway. And the little girl who plays her niece was really good, really good. Those two stole the show for me. And in fact, I also found out that the doll M3GAN was played by a little girl as well, which is fantastic because a lot of the movement was spot on. Even the feral running, when she was running after the boy in the forest, that was mad. And to know that that was actually a little girl that did it, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I like this film. I like this film. It's not for everyone. It's a simple storyline, but it's you know, it makes sense. It didn't drag at any point to me. You know, the first bit is a little bit, some people might find it slow. I didn't, because I know they were trying to set up the story and set up the emotional content for later on. Again, it's not an earth-shattering film. I'll give it 7.5 out of 10, which is a good score. It was entertaining. Seen it twice now, and you know, it's done great at the box office. I think the budget was 12 million, and I think it's made well over 200 million now. So as you saw in a previous video that we've done, you might have seen it, and if not, go and watch it. There's going to be a sequel to M3GAN, because when you make that kind of profit, you got to have a sequel nowadays. Anyway, it's common sense. It's, you know, that's business. So, but I'll be looking forward to a sequel to M3GAN, definitely. And yeah, I'll recommend it. I'll recommend it. So, guys, if you manage to catch, I mean, it's on the tail end of its cinematic run, so I would urge you to go and watch it. And if you have watched it, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it, and if you're looking forward to the sequel. We'll be back soon. The GRP will be back with another show. Hopefully all three of us. But till then, peace out.